All I want in life is for you to do well and for me to give you some tools to help you do well. And that's why I made this video. Hey you guys, welcome back to this week's vlog. It's Tuesday, it's the 28th, and it's 5:30 in the evening. As you can tell, today's not going to be a normal video or vlog. I'm not vlogging for multiple reasons, the main one being that I really want to rest and rejuvenate before my second year starts, and that's in 2 weeks, I think. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about the incoming first year medical students. A lot of you guys have already started, and if not, you are starting in a few weeks. And so honestly, I've been thinking about you guys a lot and not worrying, but I want to be able to give you guys some information, some tips, things that I'd like you to know before you start medical school. I will be providing you guys with extensive resource information, things that I use to help me through my first year that help me do really well. And yeah, so let's get right into the video. I'm gonna first start with the resources that I used for lecture, for understanding material, not anatomy yet. I will get to that in a little bit. The first resource, the Holy Grail, Boards and Beyond. That is the #1 resource that I used. I'm still using it. Boards and Beyond offers high yield videos and quizzes and flashcards. I love the videos, and if you also download the Lightyear Anki deck, if you use Anki, they have a Boards and Beyond tag and you can use those cards to reinforce the videos. And I use these videos to reinforce the lectures that I'd watch. Highly recommend aligning these videos with your curriculum, planning ahead of time what lecture you're going to see in class and what video you should watch afterwards or on the weekend after you've had that lecture. The next resource that I used a lot was Osmosis, and this was primarily a resource that I would use before class. This is what I would use to prime my brain. I liked watching Osmosis videos because they really just explain concepts at a very foundational level, obviously leaving a lot of details out. It really just helped prepare me for what I was going to see. The next resource that I liked using was Ninja Nerd, and he is free obviously because he's on YouTube and he has amazing videos and he walks you through concepts in a really detailed manner on a whiteboard. So he just draws everything and he is so smart. He gets really down to a microscopic level of what's going on. So if you need something really detailed and drawn out for you, definitely go watch Ninja Nerd. He's great. And yeah, the next resource that I used specifically for my neuro block, because I had a really hard time with neuro, but with this resource I ended up mastering neuro, and that was probably one of my favorite blocks aside from Repro. We all know that. Dr. Najib, he has some dated videos, but he is also drawing on a whiteboard and explaining concepts in a really detailed way. You're really gonna know a concept inside and out if you use his videos. The next resource that I really liked was Costazno, and this was for physiology only because it's a textbook. Learning, obviously, you retain information better when you hear it, when you write it, and when you see it, and when you say it. And so reading a textbook really helped me get that reading aspect. I didn't always read the textbook. I would read it at the gym sometimes on the treadmill. I'd just walk and read on my iPad. However, they have a shortened version of the textbook and it's called BRS. I forgot what it actually stands for, but it's a Costazno textbook condensed into bullet points and just the high yield information. I absolutely loved this. It had little tests at the end of each chapter that really helped solidify the information. So I would always read this and do the little tests at the end before my exams. Okay, the next resources that I want to talk about are for anatomy. Now, a lot of you guys are learning anatomy virtually because of COVID-19. I taught anatomy virtually over the summer, and I feel like the students got a really good hang of anatomy because of the resources that we provided them. The first one is Michigan Blue Link, and this is online. It's a website through the University of Michigan, and they have dissections of cadavers with everything labeled. They also have unlabeled images of them so you can test yourself, and then they also have test questions that are for anatomy. The next resource that I used for anatomy was the Netter's textbook, and this was just hand-drawn images from Netter himself, and everything's labeled. It was a really nice place to start with before going to a cadaver. The next textbook that I used, I don't know the name of it. We'll link it down below. It's a cadaveric textbook. Super detailed, amazing dissections. I honestly partially loved looking at it because of the dissections. They were done just so so well. The next resource is the Complete Anatomy app, and I personally never use this and I don't like it at all, but I have a lot of classmates that love this app and they honestly live and die by this app. I don't understand the hype, but I know that we're in a time where apps are a huge thing. If you want to use this app, Complete Anatomy apparently is the one to use. And finally, the last resource is the first aid book. And I know that you're like, what the heck? I'm the first year. I don't take boards until my second year, or some medical schools even your third year. I got the first aid book right off the bat because they have anatomy and physiology pages in the book. So I would just read those pages before an exam. I have my first aid book spiral bound. A lot of you guys ask about it. I think I took it to FedEx and they spiral bound it for me and I found it really helpful. The next thing that I want to talk about is supplies. In terms of medical supplies, that's up to your school, and my school provided me with the medical supplies or gave me a list that I needed. So each school might be different, so I'm not going to talk about that. I want to talk about electronics. If you guys have seen my videos, I know my setup is a little bit excessive. Don't forget that I'm a content creator too, so electronics I need for YouTube. So that is why I have all of these things. Above all electronics, I definitely recommend a laptop, and that's probably required from your school. I have the MacBook Pro 13-inch. It's 2016. A lot of people will also recommend getting an iPad. I personally don't use this at all. This was given to us from the school. This is just a luxury really, unless you're taking notes on this. The next thing that I recommend are noise canceling headphones. These are not great, so do not buy the Beats ones. They have really cheap ones on Amazon, I think, that are like $25, and I heard that they're really good. Having noise canceling headphones, especially if you have roommates, would be really helpful. And that's pretty much it in terms of electronics. Next, I want to discuss ergonomic stuff and just a few things. This is amazing. This is a laptop stand. It was not that expensive, but this helps a lot with my neck, which is also why I really like having my desktop computer. So if you don't have a desktop computer and you just have a laptop, I highly recommend buying an external monitor and then linking your laptop up to your external monitor just so you can have your head up. You are looking at a bigger screen. It's so much better. Finally, do not buy this chair. It's from Amazon. It is not comfortable, but getting a chair that's ergonomically friendly, because you're going to sit in that chair a lot, and so you want to be comfortable. You want it to be supporting your back, your bum. That chair is not it. Yeah, that is it for ergonomic stuff. All right, guys, the last thing that I want to talk about is your mental health, and this is the most important part. This is something that you really need to invest in off the bat. Learn healthy coping mechanisms, because in the first few weeks of school or even months, you might struggle a little bit just because you're going through some huge changes at a really rapid pace. You're being forced to adjust. Do not leave your mental health behind, because it's going to sneak up on you and it's going to bite you in the butt and it's going to hurt. Ultimately, I want you guys to know that you're going to be okay. I was in your shoes not even a year ago, and there were some really tough days. Just know that you're going to have those tough days too. You're not alone. Even if you might feel like you're alone, you're not. And I want you guys to know that I'm here for you. I am just an Instagram DM away. I have the utmost faith in you guys. You are very self-sufficient, and you are strong red ants, and just know that. All right, so let me share with you guys some things that I learned in this past year. So a huge thing that I've learned, and it's very basic, but a lot of people are really blinded by things when they're in a panic or upset. The first thing that you need to do is recognize that you're upset, and that might be very obvious because you're crying or something like that, but you actually need to take that second, breathe, and say, okay, I'm upset. So recognize that you're upset. Figure out why you're upset. And then the third thing is to figure out what you can do about it. So apply that when you're not having a good time and you're already on the right path to dealing with it. The next thing that I'm a huge advocate of, and it's exercise, weightlifting, stretching, walking. You need to, especially if you're having a hard day, make some time to exercise. Stop what you're doing if you can and just go on a walk. The next thing is having a support system. For me, that's my parents. You guys know I'm extremely close to my parents, and you can prime them ahead of time before you start school. Let them know that when you call in the middle of the night or, on a random Saturday morning and you're crying or you're upset about something, you're not going to them for answers, because a lot of the times they can't relate and they don't even know really what you're going through, just let them know that you want them to be there just to listen and just to provide comfort. Prime your support system. Make sure you know who they are. Make sure that they know who they are, which I'm sure that they do. And the last thing is imposter syndrome. I went through that in neuro kind of, and I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. I think that I'm gonna fail. I don't think that I'm supposed to be a doctor. Honestly, the only thing that helped me cope with imposter syndrome was just performing well on exams or assignments. I proved to myself that yes, I am meant to be there. It's not a mistake. But I want you guys to know that the medical school admissions did not make a mistake when choosing you. That's a huge insult to them because they meticulously go through applications and interviewees and all of this stuff to find you. And they really, really, really wanted you. You have earned your spot and it is not a mistake. I'm getting emotional. Yeah, that's basically it. I know this video was kind of really casual and all over the place, and I'm feeling emotional for my first years. You guys are gonna kill it. I know you are. I'm so excited for all of you guys. That's all I want in life, is for you to do well and for me to give you some tools to help you do well. And that's why I made this video. I love you guys so freaking much. Just know that I am always here for you. I will talk to you in next week's vlog. So until next time, take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, continue to work hard, and all that good stuff. Okay, bye.
Well, I'ma give it my best, and hopefully I'll make it out in one piece, or maybe two. And if I don't, it's okay, 'cause I've got all of you.